The 1991 San Juan Broncos were a team of destiny. 11 games after their opener with Beaver, they found themselves in Rice Stadium playing for the state championship. This collection of highlights demonstrates how the young men from Blanding and the surrounding area transformed themselves into one of the finest football teams in the state of Utah. The Broncos started slowly against Beaver, but the San Juan defense held Beaver scoreless through the first 3 quarters. Then, with 9 minutes left in the game, Beaver took a 6-point lead on a 77-yard run. They stretched that to a 12-point lead with 7 minutes left, and things looked grim for San Juan. But the Broncos persevered and found the end zone themselves with just over 3 minutes left on a 22-yard John Brown to Josh Hall TD pass. The PAT brought the Broncos within 5. A quick turnover gave the Broncos one last chance, and just 1 minute after their first TD, they were once again in the end zone as Brown scampered in from 4 yards out. The PAT extended their lead to 14-12, but the Broncos continued to roll over Beaver as they picked up another 2 points just 60 seconds later as they tackled the Beaver ball carrier in the end zone. In a game that had been scoreless for almost 3.5 quarters, the last half of the fourth quarter had been an offensive shootout with a total of 28 points scored. But the important thing was the win, and San Juan now sported a 1-0 record.
The heat is on, I can feel the fire. The heat is on, oh, flames are burning high. The heat is on, baby, get your feet. It's on the street. The heat is on.
Broncos extended their record to 2-0 in Week 2 as they downed Kirtland 22-0. Spencer Singer started the scoring in the first period when he returned an interception 35 yards for a touchdown. That ended the scoring in the first half, but Joey Apple repeated Singer's feat by returning another interception 64 yards for a touchdown. The offense added a TD of their own at the end of the quarter as John Brown connected with Clayton Black on a 6-yard scoring strike. The Broncos' pass defense was superb as they kept Kirtland from completing a single pass, with the exception of the 3 caught by Bronco defenders. Brown, on the other hand, picked up 155 yards through the air for San Juan. Kyle Gutke added 65 yards rushing to lead in that category. The Broncos ran all over South Sevier in Week 3 as they logged 321 yards total offense to South Sevier's 121 yards. The game belonged to San Juan from the start as Joey Apple scored on a 25-yard run early in the first period. Spencer Singer's PAT put the Broncos up 7-0. John Brown then capped another drive with a 1-yard run and connected with Joey Apple on the next drive for a 33-yard scoring pass. Nathan Nielsen scored next on a 5-yard run, followed by Carl Gutke's 10-yard touchdown pass to Josh Hall. All of that scoring happened in just the first half as San Juan led 34-0 at halftime. Kyle Gutke added a third-quarter TD to push the score to 40-0. The defense was outstanding as Johnny Slavens had 9 tackles, J.J. Bradford had 8, and both Boyd Palmer and Milton Carroll added 6 each. Milton also recovered 2 fumbles to squash South Sevier drives. After 3 games, San Juan now boasted a 3-0 record, but some of the toughest games they were to play lay just around the corner. For the second time to this point of the season, San Juan looked outside of Utah to find an opponent as they met Montrose. This time the results were not what the Broncos had hoped for, as they ended up with a 16-20 loss. San Juan jumped out to a 10-0 lead as Spencer Singer connected on a 20-yard field goal, and John Brown hit Josh Hall on a 10-yard pass before Hall tossed the ball to Joey Apple, who then scampered 51 yards for a touchdown. The next 20 points were scored by Montrose, and it was not until late in the fourth quarter that the Broncos made it into the end zone again as John Brown scored on a 1-yard run. On the positive side of the ledger, San Juan had several players on the defensive side of the ball who had outstanding games. Joey Apple logged 12 tackles, Johnny Slavens had 11, Dwayne Brown and Ken Bowring had 8, and Kyle Gutke added 7 more. But the inability to get into the end zone hurt San Juan, and they felt the sting of their first loss as their record dropped to 3-1. For the second week in a row, the Broncos found an out-of-state opponent who treated them less than hospitable as they suffered their second straight defeat at the hands of Durango. San Juan scored first as John Brown ran the ball in from 1 yard out to cap a second quarter drive. The next time the Broncos saw the end zone was in the fourth quarter when Brown connected with Joey Apple to try to overcome a 20-6 deficit. However, 15 fourth quarter points were not enough as Durango amassed 471 yards of total offense and 28 points to pick up a 28-21 victory. To make matters worse, San Juan was slapped with 17 penalties and gave up 170 penalty yards. Fortunately for the Broncos, the Durango game was the end of a 2-game losing streak, and things would begin to look up for San Juan during Week 6. Cutting down on their penalties, increasing their offensive production, and fielding a defense that held Farmington to just 39 yards passing were the determining factors as San Juan got back into the winning way in Week 6 as they downed Farmington 16-13. John Brown injured his knee early in the game, but Carl Goodkey did a great job as backup as he threw 2 touchdown passes. The first, a 54-yarder to Joey Apple, and the second, a 67-yard pass off of a screenplay to Kyle Goodkey. The margin of victory came in the second quarter when Spencer Singer connected on a 23-yard field goal. Defensively, Dwayne Brown picked up 13 tackles and Kyle Goodkey added 10 more as the Broncos allowed only 186 yards of total offense. Goodkey was 12 for 21 in passing in his first game at the helm for San Juan for a 57% completion rate. But the team effort was what made the difference, and the Broncos were once again on the winning way as they moved their record to 4-2. The close rivalry with Monticello heated up in Week 7 as San Juan suffered the last loss that they would experience before the championship game. Monticello picked up the lead in the second quarter when they scored a touchdown on a 44-yard pass. The PAT that went with the TD proved to be the deciding factor in the game as the Broncos were held out of the end zone until there were only 2 minutes left in the fourth period. Joey Apple scored from 2 yards out, but the PAT was no good, and San Juan saw their record drop to 4-3.
Taking you to touch and go.
Fruita became the target for San Juan's frustrations in Week 8, as the Broncos took advantage of 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles to run up a 27-8 victory. John Brown connected with Clayton Black in the first quarter, and Nathan Nielsen scored from 1 yard out at the start of the second quarter to give San Juan an early 14-0 lead. Joey Apple scored from the 3-yard line in the third period, and Nielsen returned an interception 43 yards for his second and the Broncos' last touchdown of the day. Also stealing passes for San Juan were Brian Bowring, Spencer Singer, and Johnny Slavens. Once again, Slavens, Goodkey, both Kyle and Carl, and Ryan Nielsen played outstanding defense. John Brown was 10 for 22 in passing and ran up 215 yards through the air as San Juan began a 4-game winning streak at the expense of Fruita. The Broncos ended the regular season with a romp over the Templars as they downed Manti 33-7. By the time the Templars finally got on the board in the fourth period, San Juan was enjoying a 33-0 lead. John Brown had completed a 3-yard pass to Joey Apple for the first score, followed by a 1-yard Brown keeper in the first period as San Juan jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Apple then scored in the second period on a 3-yard run, and Nathan Nielsen picked up 2 second-half TDs on runs of 3 and 38 yards. There was not much doubt as to the strength of the Bronco defense, as they allowed Manti only 34 yards in total offense, 16 yards in passing and 18 yards in rushing. Offensively, San Juan gained 314 yards as they totally dominated the game. The rout seemed to set the focus for the Broncos as they looked ahead to the first round of the playoffs against Grantsville in Week 10. The quarterfinal game with Grantsville became a field goal battle as 3 of the 4 scores in the game came from the kickers. Spencer Singer put the first 6 points on the board with field goals of 24 and 28 yards. John Brown capped off a drive in the 3rd quarter with a 1-yard touchdown run to give San Juan their final points. Grantsville didn't make it onto the scoreboard until the 4th quarter when they scored on a 20-yard field goal. Josh Hall caught 5 passes for 115 yards to lead all receivers, while Kyle Gutke backed a great defensive effort with 41 yards rushing. Gutke logged 17 tackles during the game, while teammates Joey Apple and Carl Gutke both added 10, and Johnny Slavens made 12 tackles. With the win, San Juan had advanced past the first round of the playoffs. But now they had to meet up with their early season rival as the semifinals would find them facing Beaver. In the first meeting with Beaver in week 1 of the season, San Juan didn't find a way into the end zone until the end of the 4th quarter. This time, they didn't wait until the end of the game to salt away the victory, as they scored their first touchdown halfway through the first period on a John Brown to Joey Apple 12-yard pass. That score alone would have been enough to win the game as the defense shut out the Beavers, but Brown connected with Clayton Black on a 38-yard scoring pass in the 2nd period, and Spencer Singer added an 18-yard field goal at the end of the 3rd quarter to give the Broncos a 17-0 victory. Defensively, San Juan held Beaver to only 163 yards of total offense, while Ken Bowring and Joey Apple each intercepted a Beaver pass. Offensively, the Broncos managed 373 yards, with 285 yards coming via the airwaves, as John Brown was 21 for 37 for a 57% completion rate. Johnny Slavens led the defense again with 14 tackles. But more important than any single statistic was the fact that San Juan had earned a trip to Rice Stadium to face Delta for the championship. When the season had started so many weeks ago, this was the game that everyone had hoped to have the opportunity to play. Now all they had to do was get ready, make the trip to Salt Lake, and make the most of their chances. The championship game turned into a defensive struggle as both teams went scoreless in the first period. Delta managed to get a 3-point lead in the second quarter and then added a touchdown halfway through the fourth period to almost lock away the victory. But San Juan was not a team that would give up, and their defensive pressure put them back into a position to score at the end of the game. When a snap on a punt by Delta was bobbled, the Broncos took advantage of it and punched the ball into the end zone with just 39 seconds left on a John Brown to Josh Hall pass. But the time ran out before the frustrated Broncos could get within field goal range after an onside kick, and their season ended with a second-place finish as they fell to the Rabbits by a score of 9-6. When you go to the championship game, somehow just being there is not enough, and the young men from San Juan were disappointed that they did not come through with that final victory. But there was a victory that these fine athletes did win that will stay with them long after the trophy's tarnished and are forgotten. This team was made up of hard-working, dedicated, caring individuals who were proud to be part of the organization and who made sacrifices to help their teammates. These were kids who put in long hours and worked at developing skills that would eventually put them in a position to play for the championship. Sure, it was disappointing to lose the title, but these kids are champions in the truest sense of the word. They cannot hang their heads because of the loss, since their entire season reflects the depth of their character. It's true they don't get to display the championship trophy, but deep inside they know, as everyone associated with the San Juan football program knows, that those who dedicate themselves and pay the price are champions. And yes, the 1991 Broncos are true champions.